Hello there, everybody at Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you a weekend reading here for the weekend of October 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday. As we get started here, as always, if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button on my YouTube, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, that red subscribe button below, and the bell so that you're in the know of all of the amazing content as it is released, so you never miss a beat. As always, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's kind of my go-to deck. So stepping into the weekend energy here for the 9th and 10th, we have for Saturday the 3 of Pentacles, and for Sunday the 7 of Swords. So what I really feel with this, I feel as though you or someone close to you could be really holding a very unorthodox view, a very non-traditional way of seeing things, viewing things, a non-traditional way of running their life. And it's really, even though it's not widely accepted, it works for them, right? I feel that they're not very flamboyant about it. They're not very, putting it in your face and making sure that everybody kind of flows that way. But it's to a point now where what's working for them and has worked for them for a long time, where you are kind of taking notice of that and you're like, wow, okay, so that's working for them. What's working for me isn't working for me. Maybe I should start to take notice of that because maybe there's some views that they have or things that they do in their life that I could benefit from. Maybe I should, start to do some of those things or adopt some of those, patterns and beliefs and views, and maybe start to see how that could benefit me as well. And so I feel as though maybe this has come to your attention because there was something that had become very public, right? Where this person was in the public eye. This person pulled some type of a publicity stunt, right? Where, it was very much, in your face, where you were kind of made known that these were the views that this person was holding, and it made you take a step back and kind of like, whoa, okay, is that true? And it may have led you to the point where you have decided that you wanted to start looking things up, start to do some of your own research at this point, right? I feel as though this person has been very generous whenever you've asked questions, whenever you had any type of curiosity for yourself. This person has been very open about sharing their views, be it political or education or experience. They've been very honest and open with you, and so you feel like this person's very approachable and that you feel you can go and talk with this person and kind of gain some insight as to what's really going on. But I feel, you can, again, just use your own discernment and feel what is right for you and what is truthful for you, and, navigate your life in terms of that. But, I feel like this person, has done a really good job, at maintaining. And so this person doesn't really need somebody on their team, right? When I think of the 3 of Pentacles, this is a lot of teamwork, working together, right? They don't need somebody on their team. In fact, they don't even want somebody on their team. But I do feel as though that at some point, there's going to be a coming together, and it's going to happen naturally, and it's going to have to happen because that's where the course of the future is headed. So I feel like it's going to be like, a natural course it's going to happen. And I feel like there'd be like a patting on the back, like, right, appreciating each other and understanding, standing in a state of understanding and being, even if you are separate on some views and you have the same views on some things, it doesn't matter regardless. I feel like there will be cooperation and understanding, and this could be a collective thing now as well, because you can see everything that's happening externally. So, I feel as though some of this curiosity is kind of rubbed off on you, that I feel as though maybe you've started to look at some literature, right? And Spirit is saying, like, maybe educating yourself, and I feel like you have a genuine interest, right? In what you're looking at, what you're looking up, and seeking this truth, seeing, understanding that there's been a history that has repeated itself, and now understanding that this is a point where we are also at, maybe, and that we have to learn from that. And so it's a wise energy that accompanies this, right? It's not a like an immature energy where we make decisions based on what we need individually. It is a collective energy where we are working together based on facts that are presenting themselves and based on what we're seeing, right? And so I don't know if facts, I guess, would be the best word. I think it's mostly what we're seeing, right? It doesn't matter who said this and who did this, and right, we have to go based on what we're seeing externally, what is showing up for us. Okay, so we have our own personal things that are happening, right? Maybe somebody doesn't want to take a shot, and so then they lose their job. That's in their personal life, right? But then externally, we have somebody seeing how things are happening around them, and it may not necessarily be affecting them in a personal way yet, right? But they're seeing that it's affecting their loved ones, and so this has become very real for them. So they're seeing a lot of external things, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be facts or personal things that are affecting you at this point. Eventually it will affect us all, right? So we should all be concerned about these things. But to take a stand in starting to educate yourself and to look around at what's happening and why things are happening, questioning these things, right? Seeking that truth and being discerning as to what is good for you and why you feel that way is entirely up to you. We are all still, despite whatever is happening externally and what you see or what you think that you see, we are all still one. We are all still in this together, and we are all still going in the same direction in terms of our future. So that's something to be very mindful of, okay? So as you start to educate yourself more and to read more and do a little digging, because there's a lot of stuff out there, you do some digging and you start to, find things and to question things and see what's really going on. You might feel more inspired to either take action or to tell more people about what's happening, right? It's about inspiring others, right? So this is what we're trying to do here. We want to inspire other people, right? Make sure that we're all getting on the same page. We all understand, right? About our basic rights and our freedoms, and that we all can make our own choices, and that it doesn't matter. We can all still love one another, right? So when it comes down to this, when you extend that love to one another, no matter what choices, right? We're still sovereign beings, and we all make these choices for ourselves. You signal to other people that it's okay for them to do the same, right? So maybe you're digging up some facts and you're relaying some, truths, right? Or you're relaying what's true for you or how you stood in your sovereignty. You're inspiring other people to do the same thing, right? They start to look at that and say, oh, that's really great, right? And I wish I could do that too. And so then they start to maybe be a little bit more courageous in doing so. And then they may start to look at some literature and things that they want to look at. And so perhaps they feel as though they've been missing something, or perhaps they are missing something. And so sometimes when we are missing something, right? We get busy with our daily lives and we are going day to day, going to work, coming home, cleaning the house, helping with the kids, whatever, right? We don't always have time to do that. So sometimes we do rely on others to get the news or get the weather and, take a look at some of these things. And so just planting that seed of sovereignty and truth and love, right? And that is a good thing. And so what I feel with this is maybe long ago, there's been some feelings that have come up where perhaps there was something like you wanted for such a long time and you hadn't put yourself out there, right? You didn't put yourself out there. You felt like, what's the point in doing that? Because if I put myself out there, it isn't going to work out for me. There's just no way, logically speaking, that it will work out for me. I can't do that because I have to work all day, or there's no way that I'm going to make the amount of money that I want to make, or whatever it was, right? You kind of squashed it and you buried it. So you buried your dreams, essentially. So what's happening now is some of that is starting to surface. People are starting to get angry. They are upset that some of these things have been taken from them, right? And so that's, feelings that have been buried that need to surface now, to be acknowledged. And that can come out in anger, right? It's a grieving process, a grieving for what could have been, what you want, and what you have, right, are two different things. And so that's what I feel is kind of happening with some of this. Now, moving through this energy, it's important for you, as you speak your truth and what's true for you and being discerning, as you express yourself, it's really important for you to do this in a scholarly way, right? It's important for you to be diplomatic, because how you express yourself, how you express your views, how you express what you've come across in your literature, or maybe just sharing your literature, right? That will be, going forward, setting an example for others, right? If you allow this anger that's coiled up inside you to, from this lost dreams and loss of hope, right, from the past, if you allow that to dictate how you go forward in expressing what you have come across, it will be perceived by others in perhaps a negative connotation, right? And they can put their judgment on you. They can place their judgment on you. And they may feel that is, they might label it, I guess I should say, okay? And so it's important for you to be mindful of expressing this in a kind and gentle, perhaps even loving way, okay? So going forward, it's important for you to be genuine, right? And ensure that you are tenacious, right? Keep moving forward. Keep trying. Keep speaking your truth no matter what. Don't allow others to cast that judgment onto you and allow that to determine your worth or determine your set point, right, in terms of where you're at, and allow that to keep you stuck, right? Because when you do that, and if you were to speak this to somebody and then not ever try to speak that to somebody again, it's like giving up on yourself or giving up on them, right? And things aren't going to change overnight. Things don't just happen overnight. This didn't happen overnight, right? And so it's important. Spirit is showing me a set of like 3 horses, or wild horses, like you would find on Estes Island. These beautiful horses, and they're very symbolic of independence and freedom. And this is everything that we are trying to work toward, right? But what I see with the horses is it's important for us to make sure that we're using our intuition as we're moving forward, right? We want to make sure when we're tapping into our intuition, we're feeling out what's right for us. We are not telling others what's right for them. We're allowing them their own sovereignty. We're allowing them to choose what is right for them. We're simply educating. We are simply spreading knowledge. We are simply speaking our truth. We are simply, explaining what we've seen in terms of patterns, what we've seen in our literature, what we've come across, what we know for our own wisdom, our own experiences, right? We are explaining those things. And through that, you'll understand to tap into others in terms of you'll know when someone's a little uncomfortable. You might be able to sense when someone's uncomfortable with a topic. You might be able to sense when someone is uncomfortable with past experiences, maybe perhaps that they've had. They might share that with you, right? So being kind and loving, expressing yourself and expressing empathy for others. But the importance with this is that it's going to take time for all of this to unravel. And so moving forward, making sure that you're keeping the endurance, right? It's not for the faint of heart. And so take the reins and make sure that you are staying in your determination, and that you're not giving up. You're not giving up your sovereignty. You're not giving up your truth, and you're not being placed in a bubble, right? And so in that, I want to move into now the self-care for Self-Care Sunday, because I know that this has been a little bit long. If you've hung with me for this long, I appreciate that. So moving into self-care. So how can we take care of ourselves through all of this? Self-Care Sunday for October 10th, we have a couple of cards. First and foremost, Spirit, the word grounded, of course, has come through. That's always something to do because there is so much energy happening, so many things happening around us. It is very important for us to stay grounded, because we can be anxious through all of this, through all of these changes, right? To embrace these changes. How you're grounding yourself is very vital to keeping up with all of this. And so making sure that you're keeping a routine, making sure that you're doing the exercise to clear your energy. And it could be right out there in nature among the trees, right? Or being out getting fresh air, getting your bare feet on the ground. I know it's starting to get a little bit chillier here in the Northeast, but starting to really get in touch with that side of yourself that keeps yourself firmly planted in the present, right? And so when you find yourself feeling anxious, getting with the present moment by looking around, identifying what's out there, listening intently to the sounds. You can hear my water probably that's in the background. Smelling maybe the flowers, right? That kind of thing. Or making sure that you're drinking enough water, right? We want to make sure that we drink enough water. And then I've been feeling myself, and this is actually something that came up, lots of gratitude. Okay, so say thank you, experience the joy of acknowledging others. So this has really been with me for like the last 2-3 days. A lot of gratitude. I have been sitting in gratitude not just for the people that have been showing up for me and have stuck by me consistently, but for how I've seen Spirit masterfully play this out for me to get me to where I am today, and how I've seen everything be beautifully orchestrated for me to support me in this exact moment. I knew that I was following my intuition. I knew that it wouldn't let me down. It didn't make sense this whole time, some of these things that I was doing, but in this exact moment, as I transitioned from one job to another, I know exactly why I made some of these decisions and why I'm exactly at this point in time right now. So I've been very much reveling in my gratitude to be able to make this transition a lot more smoothly now, right? So what are you grateful for? And be mindful that even if it doesn't look exactly like you want it to right now in your life, at one point in time, you very much were wanting what you have in your life at this point, right? Or where you are at this point, whether it's the job, whether it's the apartment, whether it's the earrings or beautiful ring, or whatever that looks like. It can be really simple, guys. Don't overestimate this. Don't make this too complex for yourself. It can be very, very simple, and just be very grateful for. Maybe it's you couldn't afford to go out to eat at this one restaurant, and now you can today. And so just really just sitting in that gratitude for a while. Okay, so it's very important. And surrounding yourself, I think, too, with things that make you happy, bring you joy, the people and the things, right? And so it doesn't have to be super expensive. Those flowers were $8, and actually Brendan bought them for me, so I did not buy them, but they were super cheap, and they make me happy, and it raises the vibration in the room, and so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process. And so it can be just little things that make you happy. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then love. Of course, I wanted to swing this back around to tie this all in, because this is exactly what we need to be focusing on at this point. People right now, they might be feeling divided. They might be feeling torn. I know that there are people out there right now that are making different decisions than those in their family, and because of that, they are feeling ostracized. And right now, we need to be extending love, no matter what decisions anybody is making. It doesn't affect the fact that we are still one, and that family is still family. And even if we are having people that we don't get along with, they still have the ability to sit in their own truth and be their own person, and we don't have to cast any judgment on them regardless. And so with this love, choose love. Let your love become a powerful force for change. We are here to be love and to experience love. And my intention is to leave a legacy of love. I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is what I'm focused on. I am trying to bring love into everything that I do, and to everyone that I come across. This is what I'm here for, right? And we can use love to be a powerful force for change. We don't need to feed into this divide, right? So really pay attention to how you give love, how you are receiving love. Are you open to love? And what can you do today that shows love? Even to a stranger, whether you're doing random acts of kindness. Now, I also feel this would be a very good time to pay attention to your body and what your body needs. Like I said, drink water. I feel like spirit could be showing you things in your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down when you wake up. And if you're not experiencing dreams, that's okay. Maybe you'll just get like a really good restful sleep, and you'll just feel really good in your body. So just set the intention though when you go to sleep to remember your dreams, or for spirit to bring you messages in your dreams, or put a little lapis lazuli under your pillows. Sometimes that will help with dream recall if you're into crystals. So if you're open to that. So yeah, I feel like this is a beautiful message here for us this weekend, and I hope that this resonates for you. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up at that square site in the description box below, or if you're catching me on Facebook, it's pinned at the top of the page there. So, or at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. As always, I'll be back with another reading for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.